Planet Dolan.
What famous athlete literally drinks his own pee for health reasons? What professional prizefighter won a knockout victory while on his deathbed from a terminal kidney disease? From bizarre personalities to unlikely success stories, here are 10 of the most unusual professional athletes you'll ever hear about. I'm Hellbent, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10. Manute Bol was a Sudanese basketball player who played in the NBA from 1985 to 1996. He's best remembered for being the tallest NBA player in history, standing 7 feet 7 inches tall, but weighing only 200 pounds. That stick figure-like frame was unusual, but even more unusual is his backstory. The college coach who recruited Bol, Kevin Mackey of Cleveland State, asked Bol how old he was, but Bol had no idea. So Mackey gave him a birth date, just made it up on the spot, making him 23 years old. Years later, after Bol died in 2010, Mackey admitted that Bol's birth date was made up. According to Mackey, he may have actually been in his 40s and 50s when he played in college and the NBA, making him by far the oldest player in history. Number 9. Clinton Portis was a very good NFL running back for 9 seasons, and if you never saw him off the field, you would assume he was just another athlete. But if you did see him off the field, you might not even know who you were looking at. Portis was well known for making up bombastic alter egos for interviews. Some of those personalities include Choo Choo, his team's dance instructor, Dolomite Jenkins, an obvious Napoleon Dynamite parody, and Prime Minister Yaman, a supposed 2008 presidential hopeful. Number 8. John Urschel was an NFL center who faced a tough choice. He could continue his highly successful NFL career, or he could pursue his true passion. See, Urschel wasn't just a dumb jock. He's actually a genius. Between football seasons, he co-wrote a graduate-level paper on mathematics called a cascadic multigrid algorithm for computing the Fiedler vector, and he had that paper published in the Journal of Computational Mathematics. And then he went back to football where he pushed a bunch of people around. Or at least he did until 2017, when he retired at the age of 26. With fears about concussions surrounding the NFL, he didn't want to jeopardize his future in mathematics and retired to continue pursuing his PhD from MIT. Number 7. In 1913, golf was a rich man's game, even more than it is now. The relatively new European sport was a hobby of the world's mega elite, and the very idea that a commoner would play the game was absurd. That was until the 1913 US Open, when 20-year-old Francis Ouimet showed up at the country club in Brookshire, Massachusetts. The amateur golfer had initially intended to be someone else's caddy, but was instead asked to participate as a player. The Open went to an 18-hole playoff between Ouimet and golf legends Harry Vardson and Ted Ray. Ouimet ended up winning in one of the biggest upsets in sports history. After Ouimet's victory, the number of amateur golfers in the United States went from about 350,000 to over 2 million over the next decade. Number 6. Vince Papale is the only person to make an NFL roster after graduating from a college with no football program. He was a high school football coach and part-time semi-professional wide receiver in the World Football League. But his standout play got him a tryout with the Philadelphia Eagles as a special teams player, and he ended up playing 3 seasons with them before a shoulder injury ended his career. The 2006 movie Invincible is loosely about his story. Number 5. Lyoto the Dragon Machida isn't an unusual athlete for the most part. He's a fairly standard MMA fighter with an impressive resume of fights. But Machida has a fairly unusual habit, or superstition perhaps, a health regimen, whatever you want to call it. He drinks his own pee. He does it every day, intentionally. He even makes YouTube videos of him doing it. He says it's good for him, but medical evidence is inconclusive at best. Number 4. Kurt Warner's rise to stardom is as unlikely as they come. After being overlooked by every single top-level college football program in the country, he ended up landing at the University of Northern Iowa, where he sat on the bench for 3 years before getting 1 season to play. Afterwards, he went unselected in the NFL draft and took a minimum wage job stocking shelves at a supermarket at night so he could spend his days staying in shape for when an NFL team came calling. Eventually, Warner caught on with a semi-pro team, and then as a backup with the NFL St. Louis Rams. It took him 5 years to go from grocery bagger to NFL champion. Number 3. Billy Miskay was a heavyweight prize fighter who fought 105 times despite only living to the age of 29. But Miskay isn't notable because he fought a lot. He's notable because he was dying for much of his boxing career. In 1918, doctors told a 24-year-old Miskay that his kidneys were deteriorating and that he had 5 years left to live. Obviously, they also told him to stop boxing, as damage from the fights could make that 5 years a lot shorter. Unfortunately, Miskay had accumulated about $100,000 in debt from some bad business deals. Determined to not saddle his family with his debts, he fought 30 more times, eventually paying back his entire debt. The fight he's best known for was the one he lined up on November 7th, 1923, his last one. Miskay was too sick to train, work out, or even get out of bed, but he needed one last fight check to make sure his family had a good Christmas. Miskay somehow showed up to the ring on his feet, won the fight in a knockout, showered his family with gifts on Christmas, and died of kidney failure a week later on New Year's Day. Number 2. Bill Lee wasn't called Spaceman because he was an astronaut, but at some point he might have thought he was. Spaceman is one of the most bizarre people to ever play professional baseball, but his weirdness pretty much carried right through into retirement. What makes him weird? Well, for starters, he was one of the first pro athletes to openly talk about smoking marijuana way back in the 1970s. When asked about what he thinks about mandatory drug testing, he responded, "I've tried just about all of them, but I wouldn't want to make it mandatory." Afterwards, he continued smoking and playing baseball into his 60s. He also ran for president in 1998 on the Rhinoceros Party ticket, and in 2016 he received 2.78% of the vote as a Liberty Union Party representative running for the governor of Vermont. Number 1. If you've heard about NBA Hall of Famer Dennis Rodman lately, it's probably because he's one of the only people in the world to make regular trips to North Korea to pal around with his good buddy Kim Jong-un. But Rodman always was an oddball. He spent a lot of his career with a constantly shifting rainbow hairstyle. But for him, that was actually pretty normal. He famously wore a wedding dress to promote his own book, then announced he was bisexual and was planning to marry himself. Then, in a surprisingly less odd scandal, he had an affair with Madonna, and then was married to actress Carmen Electra for about 4 months. Then, after his basketball career, he went to professional wrestling for a few years, which kinda made perfect sense. Knowing the kind of bizarre, impulsive person Rodman has always been, the North Korea visits are almost sorta mundane by comparison. This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.